Welcome back to the Down Bad Group podcast. I'm your host, Elite
After
Chaos, and I'm with my two co-hosts.
Pops Gaming, the true original.
And
Just Jorge again.
Just the lazy monkey or yeah.
Just Jorge. That's it.
just Jorge, just Jorge.
Just Jorge.
It's
Just Jorge.
it's been quite some time
It's been three damn
since the
months.
last episode. Yeah, but don't worry, we'll make up with it with some wonderful topics. Um, starting with one that
Excluding a person.
hey
definitely.
hey hey hey.
Mm.
Let's not be mean here.
Mm.
All right.
Just saying. Excluding. Excluding.
All right. So
That's it.
a topic that's been in everyone's mind lately is the concept of aliens. So the question is, like, do you guys really believe in aliens?
Yes, sirree.
I
Yeah,
have
so do
mixed
I.
feelings.
I do.
Yeah,
I actually I have mixed feelings because I do believe them, but at the same time I don't. It's like
You do and you don't.
okay. How do I explain it? Okay. So like you. I know so many people like believe there's scientific proof that they like aliens exist with UFOs and everything. I believe that there might be another life existence in another planet, but I just don't believe in that we have seen those kind of different life experience from another planet. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, I mean the way I see it is that like space is so vast, and there it almost seems kind of unrealistic if we're the only living species within like the whole
Universe,
space.
I
like
mean, according
Yeah,
to
because
galaxy.
that shit,
I
there's
forgot.
parts of that shit that we haven't even discovered.
I forgot what it said.
So, mhm.
Where I read this from or where I learned it from. But apparently, I think it's like supposedly like the minimum for other life is supposed to be 11 other planets in the whole in
11,
our universe
11 planets that have life,
that have life and can hold life,
including ours.
including ours. So we would be
So that
Mm.
means there's 10 planets. That's
then
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, it's certainly possible, and
yeah.
I mean the way I see it is, how do you explain, like, over the decades, how do you explain all the UFO sightings,
I
you
mean,
know like
most of them
all the
have been
disappearances,
like have been unclassified and they've been released to the public. I mean, take that as you will. I mean,
yeah, I mean,
a lot of it is could be believable. Like I believe some of that. Like it's kind of
right.
hard, especially if it's coming from like a freaking like fighter jet footage to alter it. I guess I don't know. It really
Anything's
depends.
possible, but personally I believe they exist. Do I? But not.
Just
But you know what I think the problem
this
is.
is stupid.
Everyone thinks that they're hostile, and my thing is, if they were hostile, they would have taken us over by now.
So
Because any civilization that can make it this far definitely has better technology than we do.
yeah,
So they would have taken over Earth. So I don't really think they have bad intentions. You know, maybe they do, maybe they don't. I don't know, but
I
I
just
just think it's,
can't.
it's kind of human nature to assume that
it
everyone is out to get you.
yeah. I
I,
mean, to be fair,
I just can't. UFOs, bro. I just feel like that's like the most stupidest thing that to
I
be
mean,
thinking about.
take UFOs as your own description. I mean, like the technical term is unidentified flying object, and
Yeah,
Right.
it's
yeah,
been
yes, that's true.
common.
But
I
like,
mean, then again, I mean, it's been commonly like paired up with flying saucers, the freaking giant round disc shit that they put everywhere,
Right.
like the GTA secret shit, everything.
yeah, but
You see,
like, yeah, I
Like,
just can't. Like,
you
people
just
saying
you
like
see an oppressor flying through the sky.
you just see something round and circle, and you're like, oh wow, it must be a UFO, which is like, well, yeah, it could be like something else besides a UFO. Like people are like, no, it's an alien. I'm like,
there,
okay,
there's a lot of. I
no,
mean, remember that I forgot where when it
There's a lot
happened.
of shit that's
There was this
unknown.
thing in there
oh
was
my
this thing
god,
that happened in California where there was this like it's like light in the sky, some shit like that. I don't remember exactly what it was.
Oh no, that was in Arizona, I think, or was it
It was
California? I
Cali. It
don't
was in Los Angeles.
know. Or hey, don't do that.
dude, that just scared the shit out of me. Okay,
That shit is scary. Don't fucking do that shit.
Bro, that one actually scared me.
I
That
know
shit.
that was scary. That was.
He
That's
put a
so
fucking
scary.
picture of an alien on the screen.
Dude,
I
oh
know
my god,
it's-
that was so dude, that was so creepy when I saw it. I was like, oh my god.
That shit.
That's fuck-
Okay, that's unsettling to say the least.
that is.
But
this is gonna be an interesting thing that I
yeah.
that randomly popped up on the news feed on my phone,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mhm.
I forgot what country this person was from.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, it's a country that has a developed space program.
Right. So
And-
part of the U.S. or Europe.
It wasn't the
China.
US, but they mentioned the U.S.
Oh, so then it could have been anywhere.
So
But yeah.
they were basically like, yeah, it's a galactic federation,
Oh, I think it was Israel.
and Trump knows about it.
Oh yeah, that was released to the public, right?
Yeah, by just like
I think- No, I think it was Israel. It was Israel that said
Yeah.
it.
I wasn't
Yeah,
too sure.
and
Really.
Oh,
why did you? why did
okay,
you
okay,
say
then
that?
I'm just giving like I'm just gonna show like what we saw. That's literally just creeped me the fuck out.
I guess. Okay.
I just
God, you can't be doing that shit.
okay. This is...
Why do you have so many tabs open?
Okay, don't show it, Jesus.
He
I
has,
wouldn't judge you.
Okay.
yeah, he has like 8 tabs open.
Hey man, I'm just watching things.
Just down bad.
I mean, yeah, I definitely think that
But
you know
this
there's
is,
almost too much evidence to like to be straight up be like, oh, they don't exist.
but I wouldn't be surprised if like the world governments were like if they okay, this is gonna sound very outlandish, but let's say they do have contact with these beings.
Maybe.
I highly
Yeah.
doubt they would want them to make contact with the planet only because of how it would affect people within certain religions that are like heavily
It-
religious.
Elaborate on that.
Okay, you know how the whole
Wait. Wait, I was thinking like maybe like some people believe in God and some people will believe in like aliens or like a
No,
certain way of a God.
It's more of like okay, you know how like people say like not just humans built like the
Mhm.
pyramids, whatever.
Oh, right, I was gonna get to that.
Like essentially, that would bring into question if this was really the work of humans or if it was with the assistance of like
Well, if you think about it, right? Like you look at like
it's.
in like
I've had
yeah.
this- I talked to my dad about this before. Like I'm like, what if aliens are real? And like, if you just really think about it, like many religions are based off the concept that like God created these things for us.
But but we believe
But-
God created the earth
No, yeah,
and humans and
that,
that doesn't mean that aliens
No,
can't
like-
exist.
But okay, let's say like certain things that people deem as to be something part of their religion, like
Right.
some sort of structure that's deemed to be a place
Oh.
of like worship for this specific god.
Well, I think
So
I think to fully go into that, you have to thoroughly understand each and every religion.
well, no, yeah, but no, but
But-
what I'm trying to say is that many like it's not just like it brings in the question of like if these creatures, if they're like obviously if they're close to human, let's say they are like close to human, like looking
Mhm.
whatever,
Yeah, the resemblance.
it brings in the question like okay, did they
Yeah, relatives.
did they really help the Egyptians build the pyramids?
And the question is why.
Yeah, and why didn't they make themselves?
Because,
closer?
but the way I see it is like, okay, you look at the pyramids in Egypt, you look at in Central America, the old Mayan structures, or
Yeah.
in southern Mexico.
Oh,
It's like
Mayan.
humans at the time, like they couldn't, like they didn't have all these, I forgot what it's called, the pulley and wheel or something like that.
Tools, these tools.
Yeah, they didn't have all these construction tools that we have now to build shit like that. I could just imagine, like, all those years ago. And it's like, you're really telling me that these people built that shit? I mean, like I said, it's possible. They could have just killed the people when they were making them and, like, give their lives to build it, which is what they actually did with the Great Wall of China. But at the same time, it's like, you almost have to wonder, did they build it? Did they not build it? I'm not saying either one didn't happen. I'm just saying it's very possible.
It just like
I mean, hard work and dedication,
The standpoint
for
of it's
sure.
more like, you know, even if it's not
That good
all
old
people.
Hispanic work.
Oh my god. But my point is that like even like although it may not affect like the vast majority of people, considering that in modern times we've been so used to seeing sci-fi type
Right, and then it
films
doesn't.
and having it like I wouldn't say it would help understand like but it gives more of a gradual like push to like if this were to happen, this could be some sort of
Yeah,
outcome, this can be some sort of outcome. Like as much as like
yeah.
it's pretty like random to say like okay, one day we'll wake up, next thing you know we see the Covenant.
I
Damn.
don't think that would happen.
No,
Because
but
I
there's people that do.
yeah,
I'm
of
not saying
course,
that
but
everyone will think that, but like
I honestly think if the aliens wanted to invade us, they would have done it already.
I mean, I don't think. I think. I mean,
Have
we're
you
already
seen- have you
destroying.
seen-
I mean, we're already destroying each other, so
Yeah,
there's
that's
no
what I was
point.
gonna say. No, no,
There's no
Exactly,
point.
because it's the perfect opportunity to divide and conquer. Why would they not do it? So unless they
But
don't want to do it, maybe they're.
Okay. The Earth sucks. I mean, it's a beautiful place. Really.
It's just
blessing place.
people that fuck it up.
It's just that people fuck it up, and then we're just
Yeah,
like,
because
well, shit.
look at
This place
you
just
look at
became shittier.
and okay, this is another thing. It's like, what if it's like, you know how we have endangered species?
yeah.
What if these are just like the last of their like planet? You never know. Like you never know the whole. We never know what's going on in our own universe, considering that like the most we know
Yeah.
is the satellites that have
I mean,
gone interstellar.
most of what we focus on isn't even what's in outer space. It's what's domestic, on Earth. Like Israel or Palestine or shit in America that goes on, or stuff in
Yeah.
China. Or in Africa. It's just
It depends.
COVID.
It's
All
like,
this shit.
and it's more of the fact that it's like, even though like a vast majority of people may not have a bad reaction to it and may be more accepting, a lot of people will still be on like the stance of like, don't trust them. They'll treat them the same way.
Right. It's normal.
Yeah,
It's
no,
normal
it's
to
normal.
be
It's
skeptical.
normal. Yeah, but
Yeah.
to an extent, it may end up being the same way you would discriminate against another race. But
Right. Yeah.
in
But
the same
but
sense,
but
in the same
yeah.
sense though, they wouldn't see it like that. They would see us as a whole, as like a whole race, as
Right. The
human.
human race.
We'll just
And
be a
then
whole threat. It doesn't matter who we are. We're just.
Right.
I
A
want
whole
to say a
threat.
threat. I wouldn't say a threat because
No,
We're a
it's-
threat. We're a threat.
we're a threat to each other, not to them. Because
No.
if we were a threat to them, they would have destroyed us a long time ago. But
I mean, they're just not gonna waste their time with us. Probably.
either that or because if they're advanced enough to
Look,
travel
man,
all the
I wanna
way
do is
here.
fly a damn X-wing.
This man wants to play Star
Okay,
Wars.
it's like okay, like let's say it's like the aliens are visiting us like a zoo. Maybe they're just passing by, like, ah, yeah, that place sucks. Don't go there. That's like a place you don't want to be.
that's the ghetto.
Look at that human. Look at that human. He wobbles.
You see
You
that?
see
You
that
see
one?
that? You see that country like in the middle of Asia? Yeah, that country. You see, they kill their own people. It's called. I think they're called China or something. I don't know.
You see
And
that
then-
one. You see America. Don't you want to don't start there.
That country is a great country, but it has a lot of internal problems that you're just like, what the fuck?
Then you got the ghetto Europeans.
And then you see like this little tiny island. I think it's called Britain, and like they have like the nastiest food on the planet. I don't know what it is. It's just
They just don't know seasoning.
I just don't know.
You come down south to this giant island and you just get the ghetto
Okay, I know.
Europeans.
Hold up. Just to sidetrack, I mean, I'm pretty sure England does have some. I'm pretty sure Britain has good food. It's just that what
I
we
know.
see is like
It's
what
like-
the fuck,
I feel like they have delicious food.
Yeah,
Whatever. We just don't know.
yeah. You see that big ass country? I think it's called Russia. It's so fucking cold for no
Time
reason.
doesn't
Like
work properly in Australia.
Australia, bro. Like Australian people, bro. They're just upside down.
Like I feel like if aliens were to make contact with us, it'd be in Australia.
No, I think they'll Canada.
No. Okay, no. I feel like aliens. If aliens were to make contact, they probably make contact with the more powerful countries, like the
Adam
U.S.,
Sandler.
Russia, Adam Sandler, China. Like
Hear
those
me out,
countries.
Adam Sandler.
What about Adam Sandler?
Fine, you want to
What-
pass him off to Ryan Reynolds?
No,
Oh,
I think I think our best representative for aliens
Ryan
is
Reynolds.
no, it's
Ryan
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Reynolds.
Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's Arnold Schwarzenegger.
yeah.
I think he's our best
Well,
representative.
because he was
Yes.
governor of California for a while.
No, because he was in
No,
Predator.
bro, because he's cool. He was in Terminator. He was in Predator. He was in.
Was it
uh,
Predator? Yeah, it was Predator.
Yeah, he was in. Was it? No, he wasn't in Blade Runner. Was it? No, that was Harrison Ford. He was in Commando. He was in Kindergarten Cop. He was in all these fucking movies. He just built different. He was in The Expendables, Escape Plan. Yeah, you get the gist. But he's quite literally built different. Like, did you guys see the video in I think when he went to South Africa? Like he was at like some event and like this crazy fucking guy basically he like he jump kicked him like in the back. You know, he jumped kicked
Really?
him in the back and he didn't feel it. Like he to him it felt like a fucking twig. Like all he did he just like stumbled like a few steps. That was it. Like he didn't fall down or anything, you know, because he's built. Fuck, this guy's like kind of small. He's like 5'5" or something, like in 130 pounds, and just does that shit.
Arnold
And
Schwarzenegger
he's-
is the definition of built different.
Quite literally built different, bro. That guy's a legend. But you ever wonder like if the aliens just look at our planet and then you see how like we fight amongst each other, like stuff like politics or like cancel culture, for example. Like it's
Good
just like
segue, good segue.
You see that? You see that
Like-
guy?
As a transition.
Nobody talks to him because he did
because
something.
he said something 5 years ago, and for some reason, these humans are just so unforgiving, and they just don't want to converse with him. Man, weird society. But yeah, speaking of which, I think the whole concept is fucking stupid.
I mean, okay,
Oh.
this is what I'm gonna say.
Mhm.
5 years ago was a different time compared to 5 years ahead now.
Oh, it's changed drastically.
And
Yeah, definitely.
what people posted back like 2010 to 2016,
You can't get away with that now.
it's I wouldn't say radical, but it's more of the side of like dark humor. Like
It's not even dark humor because
No, no,
dark
no.
humor still exists. It's
No,
just
no.
that.
Well, it's looked down upon even more now.
Well, yeah.
But
But I think.
my point I'm trying to say is that like it's in the sense that was like you could say certain things without people being like, oh, this is wrong, take it down, or
Right.
you can't say this. And like as much as like I hate to say it's like okay,
I don't care.
like
It's like.
this actor was doing a live stream
Mhm.
during the protest last year.
The BLM protest.
Yeah, he was,
Okay.
he was doing it. Okay, no, let me listen. Stephen Amell, the actor for Arrow,
Yes. Okay.
he was doing a live stream with what's his name? The guy who plays Flash.
Oh.
Grant
Ezra Miller.
Gustin.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. I'm thinking of Justice League. Okay. Continue.
No, I know Flash.
So-
Love that show.
Apparently, they were trying to cancel him because he was live streaming his own type of things rather than live streaming to support the protests.
Mhm.
Essentially, so
Ah,
it got shut down pretty quickly though. He didn't get that far, but it's,
Yeah, because. But you see, they.
people want to push their own sort of agenda per se, but like not
Right.
really understand other people's standpoints. Like everyone thinks it's left and right, without thinking there's people that agree with both sides, but not
Well,
not stance with
I feel like this is gonna sound a bit weird, maybe even a bit offensive to some, but I think people who are right wing, like no one is born having a political ideology. You know, people develop ideologies due to what happens around them. Like for example, last year, right, with the riots and all that shit. You know how many people turned right wing because of that? Because okay, when you realize this, right? Okay, take like Republicans for example, right? They never really resorted to violence before January 6th. So most of their stuff never really got much attention if you think about it. Most of their rallies never really got, anything done. But when you look at what happened last summer with the riots and the destruction of property and the deaths of, people on both sides, it makes people be like, yo, what the fuck? Like this is being legitimized, our cities are being destroyed and defaced and vandalized, Like what happened in Seattle? Was it Seattle? I think, or they took over like 6 city blocks,
Oh,
and and people were living there too. And it's not like they didn't consent to that shit. Like, and they just set up their own little, stuff there, and that pisses people off. And it's like you can't expect people to join your side when you incite violence.
More or less.
Even
More or
even
less-
may you even may even if, sorry, even if you don't really want to or like don't intend to, that's still the end result.
more or less, like what I was trying to say before is that like there's a lot of people that are more of the side of like I agree with this side, I agree with that side, but I don't specifically stand with either side.
Right, that's me.
That's
to an
me. That's me to an extent.
Yeah,
It's more of like I understand and I hear your position, but you have to understand these people's positions too.
but you realize that like there like last year there were people like that believe that. But then you had the people from the left basically attack them and say, "No, you not taking a side is standing with the oppressor." That type of rhetoric. And it makes people be like, it pushes people away. You know, like they'll tell like teenage boys not to watch Ben Shapiro so that they don't turn right wing. But it's
Sorry,
like Ben Shapiro,
has the funniest arguments sometimes.
he is funny, but he's an idiot.
Yeah,
You know,
fair enough.
but
I
it's
don't know who it is, but yeah.
He's basically this like
he's like this neoconservative,
yeah,
like
neoconservative. That he's a very extreme neoconservative, especially when it
Ooh.
comes to his ideals.
but he's really just no one on the actual right wing likes him because of his stances on like foreign policy and stuff and like
He has
immigration.
some pretty okay arguments, but a lot of it's pretty outlandish.
It's pretty redundant.
Yeah.
It's I don't really like Ben Shapiro. He's not
Yeah.
very
It gets down to the same result.
yeah. But the thing is,
No,
like-
when it comes to Ben Shapiro, like he'll make an argument about something, but then he'll
Mhm.
bring it back to what his overall.
exactly, yeah. It's very easy to win a debate with him. It's just that he debates stupid people, so he wins.
Yeah.
But it's just
Oh, it's not
Ben
about
Shapiro
changing
is
my
not
mind.
turning.
The guy who
Yeah, go ahead.
changed my mind. He,
Huh?
You know the guy who has that little stand? He'll put like a certain thing, change my mind or something like that.
Oh yeah.
He has. I will say I watched a few of his videos. He has some pretty valid arguments.
I'm sure.
When it comes to certain things.
But it's like, hold on. It's like Ben Shapiro is not gonna turn some 14-year-old kid into a Nazi. What's gonna turn that kid into a racist or like a right winger or whatever, is when he sees his city being vandalized, and him being called a Nazi just because he's white. It's like what the fuck? Like you can't expect him to join your cause when you're actively demonizing him. It's like I get.
I don't like.
I get.
Okay. As someone that is white, like I don't defend. I didn't during that whole thing. I never defended anything. I just
No, of course. There was
Okay,
really
hold
two.
on, hold on. Okay, so what's this? I want to hear about this whole. I want to search up this whole like taking property thing, like the whole thing. What's it? What was happening?
Property. All right. So basically, what happened was after the death of George Floyd, after the cop killed him,
I
Which
don't
was-
know. Yeah.
which for the record was wrong. I'm glad he's going to jail.
And then he got out, but I'm glad he's going
Mhm.
to jail now.
No, he got convicted.
Yeah, no, I don't know, but like for like what? How long has it been? Like a year or two?
It's been a year, a year too, bro.
Bro, I'm sorry, but like this, it's just like that kind of privilege. Just seemed like he probably could just go to jail after 5 years. And like, yeah.
No, he's going to
But-
jail. I think the maximum he can get is like 75 years. But
Okay, I'm fine. Okay, but yeah,
it's
you
only
were,
probably got like 25.
but,
But yeah,
like,
go
I
ahead,
was-
go ahead. I'm sorry.
yeah, you were talking about like people like destroying like taking a whole block and people living there.
Yeah.
Oh, what was that? Where was that?
Yeah, all right. That was in I think Seattle, and basically what happened was these people, these like protesters, I guess, they took over like I think 6 blocks, I think in Seattle, and established like an autonomous quote unquote zone.
Yeah, I was looking for the word.
And they basically took no regard for.
They
Like-
basically made like a little. They had like a little militia already.
It wasn't really a militia, because let's be honest, that wasn't a militia.
I mean,
But
they're white people holding guns.
well, I'm pretty sure it was a mix of races. I don't think it was just white people. Yeah,
Okay,
it was definitely.
okay.
It was
Okay,
it was a group of leftists that took over City Block and said this is independent from the U.S. No cops are allowed here. But meanwhile, they didn't take into consideration that other people lived there. that don't want to be part of that. So it's like, what the
Okay,
fuck? Like,
okay.
Show documents that they
Okay.
when they leave and come back in, whatever.
I mean,
That's
that
not
died
how.
out very quickly. That wasn't gonna
I
last for very
mean,
long.
it didn't really last very long. I could see what they were trying to do, and it didn't. I could see. I was kind of happy when I first saw that, but I was also like, okay, but like,
Happy. I
I was,
wasn't happy when I saw that. I was like, what the fuck? Like,
I mean, like, because like the whole riot thing made me like, because I was like, okay, I wasn't like, okay, how do I explain this? Okay, so like, the whole riot thing, I was understandable. Cops being foul, like people being foul too. It's like foul in like both ways.
of course, yeah.
But like, I just can't. It's like I can't seem to. You can't really choose. Some people will choose one side. Some people will choose other sides. And then like you're like wondering, oh, why isn't this person my side? Or why isn't this person the other side? It's like you just like it just makes you wonder. Like
Exactly.
you
Like,
don't know you don't know who's right or you don't know who's wrong. People might say, you know, there's definitely a right side, there's definitely a wrong side. I get that, but like we're still
right.
think it's like we look like bad guys and then we look like the good guys to other people. We see bad things happening in your
Well,
side and then we see good things happening in your
there's
side as well. It's just
I'm gonna
very
make this argument
confusing
right now.
and very hard
there's the
to choose.
saying.
I want to say this
There's
right
this.
now. I'm gonna say this right now.
All right, go ahead.
Same argument. They could say that there's a bunch of bad apples that make the.
There's bad apples in
Look,
every group,
Yes.
every subcategory. You know, there's bad white people, there's
But
bad
then-
black people, there's
But
bad
then,
Asian people, there's bad
So
Hispanic people.
you take that argument, and then you put into the argument of, you know, especially most recently that they've been like you see a lot more of like all men are rapists.
Yeah, which is ridiculous.
You're
Wait, what?
you're basically
And it's funny that they say that because it's like you know the whole like 97% statistic, quote unquote, which is a false statistic, but let's just for argument's sake, let's just say that that's their study. Now, the racists like to use the argument like, oh, black people only make up 13% of the population, yet commit 50% of the crime. Like, that's obviously you cannot use that to discriminate against black people. So, but they're saying, oh, 97% of women have been, you know, assaulted, even though that's not true. The number is far lower than that. You know, and it's like, okay, so then you're using the same logic that racists use to demonize black people. You know, it's like, I just don't understand that. And then people will try to break that argument down, like, oh, well, actually, you know, black people aren't chosen, like they don't get to choose like what the skin color that they're born with. But at the same time, it's like, but that doesn't have anything to do with the argument. The argument is you're making a generalization, which is wrong.
I'm so confused with generalization.
Okay, so you know, like in the UK, that study that was done, I think it was like 3 months ago, about the whole 97% like statistic about sexual assault.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which was because in the survey that they did, they considered like getting stared at or getting catcalled as like assault.
Mm.
And it's like that's not assault, that's harassment. If I remember correctly.
That's where the memes came from.
Yeah. You didn't know that's where it came from?
No.
No, it's because this fucking weirdo cop, this sicko in the UK, he was a cop and he killed this woman when she was walking home. You know, he killed her.
What?
You know.
How the
Yeah,
fuck?
sick fuck. But then that basically started the trend of like, oh, 97% of women have been, you know, harassed or assaulted, and it's like, no, like if it was like that, the world would be like even worse place than it really is. I mean, anything over 0 is obviously too much,
Okay,
you know.
let's be
But it's
fair.
like 97%. That's almost every woman on the
All I'm
planet.
gonna say is that it's good to be wary of who you like trust.
Of course.
And it's needless to say that yes, that like the person you're talking to could and one day could be someone that ends up hurting you either in a normal way or in a way that is deemed to be like the R word
Right.
or just like mental or physical abuse. It's okay to be wary, but if you take in the fact that like if you use that like motto as like your whole thing,
Yeah, it's
you're
ridiculous.
not gonna make many people like want to be near you. Like I get it if you're like not a people person, and you'd rather be like that. It's up to that's you. But if you're
Right.
someone that likes making friends, regardless of gender, and you stick to that like mindset,
It's
not
not
many
a
people are gonna want to be your friend. And like,
yeah,
that's
because
why
that's not an attractive trait. That's
no,
not a
no,
you're always
I
demonizing everyone. It's
I
like,
mean, like, don't get me wrong. Like, I get, like, of course, like, even guys should be wary of girls because basically, like all the
of course,
false
people should be
accusations and
wary
stuff
of
like that.
people in
Yeah,
general.
exactly. Like, you never
Yes,
know. Like, the person you're talking to today can be the person that killed you, or the person that hurts you, or whatever.
right, exactly.
So, it's it's more or less, it's like, it's not okay. All this group of
Of
people,
course,
this group of
it's just
these apples are good, but there's two in there that are bad.
my main point is it's bad to generalize.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to get to.
Because
That,
like there are like I think the problem with these people is that they see the world as black and white. Like no, there's shades of gray in between. You know, not every person is the same. Some people may think this way. Some people may think that way. Some people may be victims of assault. Some people may not be victims of assault. Some people may be racist. Some people may not be racist. You cannot generalize like a whole group of people. It's dumb and it only creates more division. When you say
and
like,
the one thing, and it's messed up to say,
wait,
but
just one more thing. Like,
really quickly, majority of it is
okay, but
based in our generation.
oh, tell me about it. It's good because you know what it is. Our generation doesn't like to take responsibility for anything.
Even though most of us are just tough asses to begin with, or smart asses.
Well, that's beside the point. Like my point is that, like for example, they think they want to be like woke, you know, or like oh I'm doing the right thing, but they don't take the responsibility of backing up their like claims with legitimacy. You know, everything is a generalization. You don't take the responsibility to. Everything is always someone else's fault. You know,
Yeah.
is what I'm trying to
The,
say.
the way I take
Like it takes
the way I take life is that like whatever comes to me is whatever comes to me. So
exactly.
it's more of like I live my life the way I want.
Like I'm not gonna
Like
state
I'm not
any of
gonna
my personal
yeah.
beliefs on
No,
here.
me either. But more of just like
I'm
if I
looking.
do good, if I do good or bad, whatever I do in my own life is, and whatever comes to me from doing those actions is whatever comes to me based on those actions. That's
Right. Exactly.
it's more like okay, to be specific on what we're talking about. If I want to be friends with these people because
Which is
they
why
think
I
it's
don't
like
like talking politics with people a lot because it's like it's an ugly topic. It's you know it's not something that's like you can sit down at the dinner table and just talk about.
I sadly
Most definitely not, and it's exactly why
yeah,
I am trying to
like,
stop this conversation because this seems so bad, and I can feel such
no,
judgmental.
you know what it is though. It's more like
We're agreeing with each other. What are you talking about?
You know, I can no like if anybody watches this, I can feel so much judgment.
well, no. What I'm trying to
Oh,
say
I
is
mean,
like
I don't care. That's
all I
fine. You
gotta say
can
is
judge
that
me all
like
you want.
the three of us have varying opinions, but
Of
Oh
course.
yeah, oh yeah,
we
most
all
definitely.
three have like I agree certain things shouldn't happen, especially when it came to last year. But
Mm.
Oh,
in
yeah.
the end, more or less, it's more like yes, we have our own political ideals. Yes, we're not as far into these political groups as many of our peers are.
Right.
And like if we're able to sit down and have a conversation like this without one person getting too
Riled up.
riled up and like start yelling about like your own political opinion, whatever. That it's what it's supposed to be. You're supposed to be able to
I
sit down.
honestly, I think people just have too much pride. That they're not willing to listen to another person. You know.
Like trust me. Like if I sat down with someone that's a pure Republican,
They would just shut you down. They
no
they,
no no
they
no,
just
no,
You wouldn't even get a chance to talk.
like what I'm trying to say is that like if I'm sitting down with a pure Republican and like
yeah.
we're like having a conversation and politics come up whatever like and I know that person's a pure Republican.
You're not gonna change your mind. Yeah.
You know I'm not gonna change my mind, but I'm also gonna like hear them out. Like I'm the type of person now, like
Oh, of course. Yeah.
especially if it's someone that's that in depth into their own political belief. Same thing if I met someone that's pure Democrat, like you. Like I don't
Or left. Yeah.
I don't stand myself with Democrat or Republican. I'm an independent. I don't stand with any type of like I honestly none of the to me most of the parties that we have in our country I highly doubt are gonna make it into like the 22nd century. Considering this is the 21st.
That's a long time from now. And honestly,
I know, but
I
even
think
then,
I,
like,
I disagree. I think they're gonna last a very long time because
it, well, I mean,
they've lasted this long, you
they've
know,
lasted
and
this
it's
long,
like
but look at how now it's starting to crumble a lot more than it was, say, 50 years ago. Look at how on
Well-
the brink people are to fighting each other over political beliefs.
But I think
Look at the
you
Capitol
have
Hill
to.
riots.
I think social media has a lot to do with it.
No, it most definitely does, but like, look at it more like, look at what happened at Capitol Hill.
Well, that was a fucking disaster.
Look at
That
what
shit
What
never
happened at Capitol
happened.
Hill?
When they stormed the Capitol in January.
The Republicans.
Oh,
The
That
Republicans.
shit was-
that
that shit
Capitol
was
Hill. That Capitol.
So
Yes.
and look at like, and look at what happened to the cities across the country last year. That's
All this because of what? Differing opinions.
like I agree that like
That's all that boils down to.
there's a certain extent of like opinions that like yes I get,
Right,
but
of
if
course.
your opinion has to do with like oh if this person does this they should die, or believes in this.
Yeah,
they should
that's
die. That's an
fucking extreme.
like okay.
like-
I'm gonna really quickly. I'm just gonna be like okay. My paper I just wrote for my class. And
Yeah.
it was on. I wrote about my opinion on if the death penalty is ethical.
Mm-hmm.
And more or less what I was saying is that it is for the right crime.
Exactly. I think the same
And
thing.
that's
Because
the
if you have
same thing for
example,
opinions of the right
if you have like
party.
a murderer that killed like 20 people in cold blood,
That's the
He
serial
doesn't-
killer.
he doesn't really deserve to live. Like, you know.
And it wasn't. And let's say it's not even premeditated. Let's say this person just went out to kill.
Yeah.
Just woke up.
He
one day
doesn't
and
really-
feel like shooting
yeah.
someone.
Yeah, he doesn't deserve to live, you know. That's a bad person, you know, but
And I kind of blame modern media for desensitizing certain things.
what do you mean?
More or less, it's like it's easier for us to access a lot of more or less
Misinformation.
not that and more graphic detail on certain things per se.
I see, yeah.
For
I
example,
mean, I think yeah, go ahead.
for example, the Hood site.
We're not going to talk about that.
But that's my example though. Like
That's not modern media though. That's just stuff
No,
that
like-
people actively search for.
no. What I'm saying is that with stuff like that being easy to access.
Oh, most
It
definitely.
desensitizes you to the concept of death in a sense. It's more like you see these.
like, okay,
It's you see these people like getting killed, whatever,
Brutally at that.
and I'm trying not to laugh because I was thinking about something.
This man is a sadist. Oh my god.
Jonathan, you should know what I'm thinking about.
I don't know what you're thinking.
Demogorgon.
Good night.
Okay, okay.
No,
Okay.
Does Jorge know?
No,
what I'm
I don't wanna
I'll
know.
Bring it up later.
I don't want to know.
Talk later.
That
We'll
shit
I
talk.
don't. Want, I don't want
Moving
to.
on.
Let's
mean-
move on. Let's just end this topic because
yeah.
I know I really don't want to get into like political things because I know.
Oh, that wasn't political. That was
Oh
something.
wait, no, like no, like, but like, I don't like.
That was anything.
I don't like talking
But,
politics that much. Like
Speaking of creepy ass stuff like that.
yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but ever since I think I was 12 or 11, I started watching like horror channels on YouTube. You know, I don't know if you guys watch Mr. Nightmare or like all these like corpse. Not wrong person.
Corpse.
No. There's a guy on YouTube. His name is Corpse something.
Corpse.
But it's not. No, it's not Corpse Husband. I think I think his name is also Corpse Husband, but it's a different one. I can't remember.
Corpse
there's-
a second.
There's
Corpse Husband, one second.
there's Creeps McPasta. There's a lot of these channels that I used to watch, and I still watch to this day. That like the stories are just so innovative, you know. Like, do you guys know any famous like creepypastas or no?
Not really.
No, I mean, I think everyone knows like the generic ones.
Momo.
Yeah. Huh?
What was that?
Say-
The
Did you say Momo?
Yes.
Oh, the fucking doll.
Shut the fuck up! I don't want to hear about. No,
Bro,
that's
I
it. That's
remember
it.
What was the exact story behind it? I remember hearing
I
about
don't
it.
want to
never.
know. I don't want to know.
I saw the picture once. That I
Like,
never.
apparently, this person. Okay, the creepypasta story goes as follows.
No, no, no,
It's
no, no, no.
not that bad of a
Shut
story.
up! Shut up! Shut up!
It's not a bad story.
Let him talk.
No, it's really not a bad story. It's actually not bad.
It's not that bad.
Okay.
All right, go ahead. Good.
So, more or less, a person was having a conversation with like a person online anonymously.
Okay.
So,
Like Omego.
yes,
Okay.
I don't know what led up to. It was like apparently like a conversation. Then that picture was put into the chat,
Didn't it start in like Japan or was it Argentina?
and apparently the person, apparently the thing like the story was like the person was so freaked out that was pretty much abiding to everything it wanted her to do, the person to do. And
Right,
more or
okay.
less, in the end, the person killed themselves.
Yikes.
That's basically it.
But the thing is, I don't think it was something supernatural. It was just some people fucking around, and
Yeah.
just with the.
Kind of like the
Yeah.
whole the re-rising of the blue whale challenge, the resurfacing,
Is
I
it-
should say.
Oh, that shit would like they would like direct you to kill yourself or something.
The whole Jonathan Galindo.
Oh yeah, I remember when that happened. I never got one of those messages, but that shit is actually scary. But the resurgence, I don't think it was real.
I think it was.
I think
No,
Oh,
I think it
wow.
was just I don't I think it was just people. It was just people trying to scare other people.
What?
No, I mean, even then.
All right, so basically, Jorge, a couple
Uh-huh.
years ago, there was this internet phenomenon,
You don't
I
remember
guess.
the blue whale challenge?
I don't think she does. But anyway, so what these psychos would do
I
is
mean, he's still alive, so he probably doesn't.
Wow.
basically they would message you on Instagram, I think, and if you were to open their message and click the link like a dumbass, they would have your location, right? And basically they would give you a bunch of sadistic tasks to do, and if you didn't do them,
They'd come
they
and
would
kill
kill you. They'd kill you. They'd come and kill you.
I think it was like
And I
10
think the
days you had
I think and
the challenge there.
yeah, I think the last challenge for some people was to kill themselves.
No, it was for
Or-
every single one. It was to kill themselves.
Yeah, and I think some people actually did it. And it turns out it was this Russian guy who was behind it, and he went to jail. Now, 2 years ago, it supposedly resurfaced.
By a man named Jonathan Galindo.
No, but it wasn't the actual Jonathan Galindo. Like it was just someone posing as Jonathan Galindo. If I can't remember correctly, that's what happened. And yeah, it was a really scary time for some people. I never personally got the message. I don't keep my DMs are private, so
But I opened up my Discord DMs.
you're about to get tracked. Nah, that shit stopped though. I think the people got caught because these people are fucking sick, you know, and it's just like
Oh, okay. That's fucked up.
But that's not really what I consider a creepypasta. That's more of a fucking
Fucked up story.
literal psychopath terrorizing people. But the shit I watch mostly is Mr. Nightmare. Oh, you guys should check out his channel. Like he has
I
like
watched a couple like.
he has like some original creepypastas like back in the day, like 2015, 2016. Those were like I think I'm sorry, 2014 to 2015. Those were like the OG days. You know, and you
during the night.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sometimes like for some reason that I don't know why I would end up falling asleep after, but I would listen to like creepy pastas of like stories that would
Ha!
like
Dumbass.
I used to do the same thing.
people
Ah,
like being in
two
the
dumbasses.
woods, like people being in the woods hearing something or seeing something, and this would be
Yeah.
like, people that are in positions of like park park rangers, stuff like that. It was,
Oh shit.
supposedly from
I'm a
the
dumbass
perspective
too.
of,
I'd be watching those shits too at night.
oh, I've seen ones that were like talking about like an overnight at a like at a
Oh, yeah, fair.
store,
Mhm.
at like a restaurant, at like a like doing the night shit, like cleaning before you leave, like at like a Domino's, whatever, stuff like that. That's only the I never really went that far into like creepypasta that much. Like I liked it, but it's not.
I was into them. Like I watched some. Like there was one called Splash Mountain, and it was basically based off of the ride Splash Mountain. Basically, it's a story about how basically this teenager boy and his family, they go to Disney, Disneyland, Disney World. I don't know which one it was. This is fictional, by the way. But basically, he gets on Splash Mountain like by himself, and the ride isn't really what it's supposed to be. I won't spoil anything. Just something you guys could probably watch it. There's another one about like there's a Chuck E. Cheese creepypasta. There's
Oh
what
fuck,
else?
Chuck E. Cheese's. I used to
That shit was
that.
scary, bro. Like when I first saw that shit, I was scared, bro. I thought that nigga was gonna pop up outside my window. Like that shit. No, no, you don't understand. Like the way he describes the situation, like it's obviously fictional, but the way like it's described, it's very vivid. Um, but yeah, then he does like the true story ones, where shit that is supposedly actually true happened. Like he does scary hunting stories, scary warehouse stories, scary
Okay,
pizza,
I'm
pizza
about.
delivery.
Hold up, give me a sec. I'm about to close my windows blinds because I ain't doing this shit if something pops out my window.
You're home alone.
Hold on.
No, I'm not home alone.
I
I'm just not dealing with this.
So I kind of looked up creepypasta characters just now, and you get
You're a
the
dumber.
normal ones. You get Jeff the Killer, Slenderman, Laughing Jack.
Ah, shit.
Yeah, those used to scare
You
me.
scroll down to the last
I-
one. You see
I,
Tails from the Sonic series.
That is what we're not gonna get into.
Rule 34.
But stop. I'm serious. But
I am not trying to. Okay, it's tonight. I'm not trying to deal with this shit. As much as I wanted to talk about creepy stuff, I am not trying to.
no, but there is some actual like very dark stuff that even for me is a bit extreme. Like I'm a pretty scared easy.
You know which one actually creeps me out the most?
What?
Smile Dog.
Is that I never like back when I was younger, I never knew if it was actually real or not. And I
Well,
still
thought
kind of
the
don't
process
to this
was-
day.
I thought like certain characters were real. I never
Well-
knew that creepypastas were just fictional stories, kind of like in the same sense as SCP.
I okay, yeah. Oh, we should talk about that.
No, not today. Not today.
No, not today, please. Let's do it in the morning. Let's do it at
In
least.
the morning, bro. We're making this episode like what? And the next episode's gonna be what? Another fucking 2 months?
Yeah. Shut the fuck up
So,
already.
okay.
Yeah, no. Stop
In
being
the
pussy.
morning.
Since I
You
brought-
know what? You can tell. You know what? You can watch it on your own time in the
since
fucking
I
dark.
brought
But
up
I ain't
the
doing
the
this
park
shit.
ranger thing with the whole like
Huh?
creepypasta stories on that.
On what?
No, like the whole like creepypasta stories, like how I used to watch those like things with like missing people or just like noises in parks and whatnot.
Oh, well, speaking of U.S. parks,
Yes.
national parks,
Oh my
An
god.
interesting Yellowstone fact.
our
Oh,
last topic for the night.
I have an interesting Yellowstone fact.
Well,
There's
we'll get to that.
Hold
but
on. Let me say this really quick. There's a
Alright, go ahead.
section. There's a section of Yellowstone Park where there's technically a law loophole where you can legally kill.
yes,
someone.
I've heard about that. Yeah.
You
What?
can legally get away with murder in the right section of Yellowstone.
There's literally
National
this
Park.
tiny
Really?
section of Yellowstone National Park. Yeah.
I wonder how many bodies are piled up.
I mean, it can't be too much. It's not like it's a small area.
Do you pile them high enough?
Yeah, sure. That's not no one's gonna do that. All I'm saying is I would never visit that spot in my entire life as long as I live. Never.
Yellowstone's pretty
Because
good. Yellowstone's
Literally,
pretty-
someone can jump my ass, and there's nothing the cops can do about it because it's it's a loophole. Why does that even exist? Like, I don't understand that.
Like I can just picture it as just more like, yeah, we don't consider this part as the part of America.
Yeah, it's just its own autonomous 10-inch region. Like, I find that baffling. It's like, what the fuck? Like, this country is very interesting when you really think about it. It has a lot of weird shit. Like, you know how many people go missing in U.S. national parks a year?
Yeah.
Like thousands. And the thing is, it's so unexplored, most of it. And like you go to like the woods in like the Midwest, like Ohio or Pennsylvania,
Yeah.
or like even
Okay.
Yellowstone. It's just like you don't know what's there. You good, bro?
No.
The woods getting to you, bro?
Remember those monoliths that started appearing last year before the end of the year?
Oh, like in the Grand Canyon?
Yeah, and then in
Yeah,
in Europe.
They appeared in Europe too. I thought it was just in the Grand Canyon.
No, there was 2 other locations.
Really? Let me see.
The same textures. Same everything.
Like that thing that looks like a giant jewel.
Yeah.
Monolith in Europe. Oh, there was one in Turkey.
Utah, California, and Romania.
Yeah,
Okay, what the hell are you
Romania.
guys talking about now?
Okay, so basically,
Monoliths that appeared last
do you know
year.
what do you know what a monolith is?
No.
Okay, it's basically a giant jewel. Like that. Think of it as like a giant jewel with like weird patterns on it. All right,
How you spell it?
and it's Mono, and then lith Lith. Yeah, there was one found in Romania. There was
Apparently,
one
the
found
one
in
in
Colombia,
one in
Utah,
the Grand
Spain,
Canyon.
Germany, Belgium.
Apparently, the one in the Grand Canyon was said to be like a piece of art, but then
It disappeared.
why would I mean? Like, I get that it was there.
Oh, that.
Like,
Yeah.
Oh, that. Oh, that.
Yeah, there was one in Romania as well.
I
Okay.
feel
Wasn't
like,
that wasn't
I
that
feel
just like a piece of art someone left?
No, this is what I don't
No.
want to be too like get too into
That's
it,
what they thought.
like we were before, but
Right.
part of me believes that they had to have a cover up for it because
I don't
it's-
know. It was
because
just
you
very
don't
strange.
know. It's something random. Like, yes,
It's
maybe,
just.
maybe it is just a piece of art, but it's no.
I mean,
coincidence.
it's like
No
Stonehenge.
coincidence. It's no
Scotland.
coincidence that the same monolith with the same textures appeared in two other parts of the world.
Well, yeah, it was in Europe as well and Turkey.
So how
Eh,
would they transport that
I
thing
believe it
so
was
quick
Turkey.
when it was?
Oh,
before?
it disappeared.
Yeah, like a couple, like last year.
The shiny
remember
metal
correctly.
monolith was spotted in Romania's mountains but was nowhere in sight on Tuesday. Damn.
But
Yeah, it's scary.
if it's something like that, why? Like, the moment they said it was, that's when it appeared in Romania.
Yeah,
Why? And
I don't
it's the
think
same
unless
exact.
unless it's a different one.
No, if you look at the detail on the monolith with the lines,
It could just be identical. It doesn't mean it's a different one. It's the same one.
It could be identical, but what can it mean? Like, why would
I
they
don't know.
purposely make the same design on the same thing?
People say it was aliens. People say it was an artist. I don't know.
I highly doubt
And
it.
then
From what I read about this thing was that an artist left it there, and I was like,
it's possible. But then how did
But
they get to Romania the next day? You know how far Romania is?
Why in the Grand Canyon?
okay. Have you heard of something called cell phone messages? It could be that they just plotted this thing just to give it more publicity thing.
It's possible. Anything is possible.
Anything is possible. So what I believe is that it could be a possibility that a sculpture was smart enough to wow people and was like able to put maybe like a different one because it looks different in the second photo.
Not maybe the angle.
Might be the angle, but like it just
Like
could
the
be.
way I saw it, like a monolith is also like Stonehenge. You guys know Stonehenge in the UK?
Nope.
Like that.
I mean,
that
search
big-
it up.
That landmark. That's that one of the seven wonders of the world.
Oh, you mean like the head, the
Yeah.
stone head thing? Yeah.
Like that in itself is also unexplainable. Like, it's like what the fuck is Stonehenge? Like what?
Look at all these stone heads. Yeah.
Like that. How did I get there? You know that shit is scary. Not scary, but just rather interesting.
No, not Stonehenge. Stonehenge.
Oh my bad. I'm just looking ahead. I was looking at the
No. Dumbass.
Hey, shut the fuck up. You're the one who said yeah, Stonehenge. It's okay in Ireland.
Stonehenge, yes.
Oh, those. I remember that being such like a wondrous thing. It's like, why would people do that? And it just could be, I don't know. Like, oh yeah, back at times they did like a whole thing of what it might have been.
Right.
Okay,
Honestly,
it could be like a
We
whole.
don't know.
It's really interesting to me too about these like stones. I used to be so wondrous about it, but right now I'm like giving two fucks. So in my head, I'm just like, it could just be some like praying thing that people just did.
I don't. That shit still baffles me to this day.
It's pretty cool though how it's like just wondering what is that, why is that there, what is it.
To conclude, really, everything is just there's so much in this world that is not
There's
yet,
so much in the world that we don't
and
know
not even
because
in the universe that we don't know.
that we don't know
We're too
because
focused on
nothing was written. we don't understand languages, the languages they were written before.
I don't think we're on the same page, but
I think I don't know. Cause
No,
like if you think about it, like back in the days, we really can't tell what they really did or what they were really like. We don't know how long the Earth was. Science says there is, but it might be longer, and it might just be like a whole confusing thing of the whole timeline of Earth. And we don't know what they used to do or the people before us really did. So there's just
There's
mysterious and wonders around the world that we
there's
just don't
just
know.
so much that we don't know, and maybe we don't want to know. I don't know, but
And I'm okay not knowing because it's not really worth it. It's like you find out that oh shit, they just did it for fun. Haha.
Wasting your time.
What a sucker. Ha.
But yeah, that's pretty much our recap.
Is it really?
Yeah, sure.
Is it? I mean,
People have opinions, yeah. Aliens exist, yeah.
and
You
there's
guys
lots
have
of stuff you don't know.
your- And yeah.
Fully
I mean,
loaded.
you guys definitely have your opinions. You totally gave them out. The second
No,
topic.
not really.
I never really said my opinion, honestly.
No one really said their opinion. It was more just their opinion about
Certain aspects
the
of
current
opinions.
society, not specific opinions like your belief on
Okay,
abortion or
okay.
stuff like that.
Okay.
That we didn't give because
Opinions on opinions.
we don't want to stir any
Opinion on
controversy.
Yeah, that's what I was so worried. I was like right about
No, Jorge, I know what I'm doing.
I was like, well, I don't know what I'm doing. What should I be saying? I was just eating my
It's
chips.
like Toy Story where Buzz takes the air. They're supposed to crash
Hey,
into
were you
the roof
prepared to be like, let's get off this topic really quickly if he went a certain
He
way?
was.
Oh fuck! Oh yeah, fuck!
You
Yeah,
know
I
he
was
was.
ready.
Yeah.
I was so ready.
Because,
Like my
I
chips
knew-
were like, I was
I know
panic
you were,
eating.
You were enjoying.
Yeah.
Like, you agreed. Like we were having a decent conversation. But I could tell at certain points you were ready to tell us.
Yeah, I noticed that too. But thank you for tuning in for the second episode
Oh
of
shit! No shit.
the Down Bad Food podcast. We had
The
a very,
second topic is probably gonna be the most controversial thing of this episode.
I guess
That
only
that
time
is that really is.
only time will tell. But thank you for tuning in and catch you in the next one.
Yep.
No one said
Yeah.
anything. I'm over here
I mean, okay. You have your opinions. And they have theirs. I'm just
Damien-
here.
Damien has editing skills too, so he could fix that up.
Opinions
Oh.
don't matter. Good night.